Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Football Manager 2022 as we continue our Journeyman and Glory Hunter run in the Bundesliga with Borussia Mönchengladbach. I'm sure I will never say that quite correctly, but close enough. We just finished our first half season with him, and today we get to go over the season review and look at the transfers going into this next season. So hopefully we have a really good transfer window because we're going to kind of need it, but we didn't do too bad last season. But we did fall a bit short, as you guys know. Let's get into the episode. All right, here we are in game and into season review for the 2031-32 season. This is what, our 10th season overall in this game? No, 11th. Because we started in the 21-22, and this would be the 11th season overall. So 11 seasons down, 14 to go for this challenge. Still got time, but missing out on that last episode does make it a bit harder. Here are the new arrivals. Wow, apparently this is a signing of the season, the one that we did here. Schmidt coming in here as an attacking fullback on the left. The board wasn't super happy with that transfer in, but 150 million. I mean, it's a very expensive transfer in, but a really, really solid fullback, and he played well for us in the time that he played. 17 appearances. He actually got 3 goals, 4 assists. Not half bad. I'm pretty happy with that one. We'll see where it goes from there. We then brought in Iliev from Union Berlin, 33.5 mil attacking midfielder. No board reaction, really. That's kind of surprising. 7.32. Amadi comes in here from Atletico Madrid. Oh, you know what? I bet it's not a board reaction because this was an R transfer, right? This guy must have come in before. So to both these guys, good transfers, to be fair, but not our transfers at the end of the day. Dominguez coming in here from Bologna, just a world-class midfielder. He comes in here just as a solid, just hold down the fort. 6.99. It's not bad, honestly. Only played a few games, or half the season, I should say. But we got him pretty cheaply, and the board was apparently pretty happy with the wages and everything like that. Coyote coming in here. Again, he was another one that was not ours. Davies coming in here as a loan. I'm actually surprised the board was as happy about this one as they are. He did all right. I mean, substitute kind of thing. No big deal. Transfers out. Stamenkovic to PSG. This was not ours. Lenga, Jong. They were not super happy with that one, apparently. Thielman, a little bit better. Viberti, also not very happy. Oliveira, not super happy. And then Vibora, very unhappy. So, quite a few of these didn't go over quite as well, but I still think we gained in the end. And sometimes you just got to let the board just tell them, hey, trust me, I got this. Nothing crazy here. I guess we had one loanee went out. Whoop-de-doo. I'm never really worried too much about the loanies. We're not usually here long enough to see them come to fruition, quite frankly. 5th place, it was the end of the season. I mean, that right there probably was going to be hard to do much better than that. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. Even though we missed the Champions League, the board's not going to be happy with not missing the Champions League. I'm happy with missing the Champions League because I want to qualify for the Euros, and that's exactly where we are. Now we got to win the Euros now that we're here, but that was the plan. It's not. They're a little bit disappointed, unfortunately, but it is what it is. The Champions Cup, again, I didn't really care about this one too much. We did get past Newcastle, which was awesome, and then we lost to someone we know very well, which is Arsenal. But overall, the board was pretty happy with that. The German Super Cup, we did not play this one. This was not our game, so nothing to worry about there. And the one that hurts the most. I will never... if this one comes back to haunt us, remember where you were this day when we're looking over this review. What could have been our very first half season in this team. But we're going to have a better team going forward. And we will. We're absolutely going to have a better team. So if we can't win it going forward, honestly, we probably just don't deserve to win it because this one would have been kind of backing into it. Obviously this was not really our run. We got in here halfway through, although we did play at least one good team. Schalke here. Not a great team, but a good team. But definitely we should have won that one, quite frankly. Biggest win. I'm not really going to go over these because we weren't here for most of these. We were here for this one, though. Big 6-0 win against Union Berlin. Match to remember was our win against Newcastle. Actually, we were here for that one as well. And then, no, we were here for all three of these. Wow, I'm actually impressed. 4-3 win over Fortuna Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf was the goal of the season from Johnny. 73rd minute. Well, let's go check out the goals from Mr. Johnny. There's a lot of goals in this game. There's the first goal. This one's for Fortuna Dusseldorf, it looks like. Pretty good goal. Give them credit. Good goal. Here's the second goal for them. Little penalty shot there. And then here's our first goal. Amadi to Lacroix to Johnny. This is... There we go. Lacroix. Nice goal there. That was a really good one. And another one looks like about a minute or two later. This one's Iliev. Back to Johnny. Up to Iliev. Oh, he just takes care of it right there. And here comes the next goal. This is the goal of the season from Johnny. Dominguez backheels it, or kind of behind his foot there. Oh, that was actually a really good goal. Top right corner there. Solid goal. And we're going to get one more goal here. Oh, no, sorry. That's just going to be a goal for Fortuna Dusseldorf. I think that one got counted back, though, didn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. One of their goals didn't count, right? I'm actually not sure which one. It had to have been that one. Was it that one? I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll watch this last goal here real quick. Easy goal. Looking pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back to... Where is it? Season review. I was like, I didn't mean to click that. Okay, here we go. The finances. Overall, 4.5 star was our previous, still current, so nothing changed there. No new sponsorship deals. Not a lot changed with the money here, although looks like we lost a little bit of money on the broadcast revenue. A little bit of money on the competition prize money as well. That actually is going to hurt quite a bit. Sales, Johnny had the most shirt sales. Malin, Schmidt getting in there as late as he came in, and Dominguez. Wow, a couple of the guys that we brought in halfway through actually sold a bunch of shirts as well. That's pretty cool. This is our lineup. This actually is our lineup. Malin, Iliev, Lacroix, Carlos, Lubac, Johnny, Schmidt, Amadi, Lucas, and Bruckner, and Georgie, of course, in goal. Not too bad. I mean, everybody was above 7s except for Lacroix, and he was pretty close, quite frankly. But we have some other guys coming in this next season to fill in some more of those striker roles. Overall, fan player of the season was Lucas. Young player of the season was Lacroix. Signing was Schmidt, of course. Goal of the season, we saw that. Johnny. Top goal scorer was Mailing with 23. Most assists was Carlos with 13. Player of the match awards was Johnny with 5. Lucas got the highest average rating. And most passes completed was Johnny. Competition awards, nothing there. Record breakers was most goals by a player in a match was Mailing. It's funny that 3 goals is the most by a player in a match. That's just a hat trick. I mean, I get that probably in real life hat tricks aren't quite as common as they are in Football Manager maybe, but it feels like I've broken 3 goals before quite a bit. Highest transfer fee paid was Schmidt. Probably will stay the highest transfer fee. I'm not expecting... I really need to get more quantity of good players so we have good depth. I'm not sure if I'm going to throw down like a big chunk of money on one just really good player this time around. We'll see. It really kind of depends on how the transfer window shapes out, you know? Sometimes it's hard to tell until we get in there. We don't care about where they are now. General performance, I mean, definitely need to improve on tackles, need to improve on pass completion. Everything else is pretty reasonable. We're above the average, which isn't too bad. Team attacking, pretty good actually. I'm actually pretty happy with the team attacking. Just a little bit more on the pass completion, same thing there. And crossing, where are we? Oh, we're over here. Pretty happy with that. If we can keep that up, that will be a good thing. Attacking efficiency, we are right up there. Just a little bit over on the left on the line into wasteful shooting. So we definitely need to get a little better, a little more clinical there. But definitely happy to be on this top half of this line at least. And then finally, passes attempted. Apparently most of our passes attempted were behind. I guess we're going this way, so behind the halfway line. And so that makes sense. All right. Club Vision. They want us to reach a semifinal of the Euro. I would like to win it all, so sounds good to me. They want us to challenge towards winning the title. Also, one of my goals. Or work towards it, and then we'll eventually challenge for it. Definitely one of my goals. I'm hoping, obviously, to get that earlier than they are. That says. Develop players using the club's youth system. Sign players under the age of 23. I can try to do that. Sign players based in Germany. I can try to do that. Increase revenue, obviously, things like that. Yeah, this all looks good. I don't think there's any reason to negotiate anything. I am pretty happy with that. Squad dynamics. Dressing room's getting a little bit better. Managerial support a bit better as well. So we're looking okay. In a season team meeting. Let's tell them. What do we want to tell them? I don't know about winning the league title next year. What do I want to do? A title challenge? I think we should. I think securing Champions Cup is ideal. Come on, guys, treat me nicely. All right, they're happy with that. They're happy with that. Good. Later stages. I want them to be unhappy with this because I actually want them to want more. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Let's aim even higher. I'm 100% happy with that. I mean, I don't know how much it dings them on the overall happiness that they have, but I'm glad to see that they want more, and that makes me feel better. We'll discuss promises later. I'm not really worried about that. Cool. Overall, not a terrible team meeting. Some good stuff there. Look at all these squiggly lines between everybody up here. It's kind of funny. Probably going to replace... There's going to be some changes. There definitely going to have to be some changes. There also have to be some new players coming in, so we have more depth. If we're going to be pushing for the league next year, which we didn't bother with this year. I didn't care. It was like whatever. But we got to start pushing for the league. And we got to make a deep run in the Euros. We got to make a deep run in the Cup. We got a lot of games that are going to be very important for us to play. We need quality depth. We need better players up front, but we also need quality depth. So I'm hoping to get a couple, several good players up front that take over as starters, and then leave my current starters to be really that quality depth, kind of what we did with Newcastle. Except the difference here is we can have a much bigger bench with this team than we could in England. So I'm hoping that plays to our advantage. Yeah, so that's that. Speaking of the squad, let's look at the squad for just a second. I want to sort by average rating. Most likely, anybody from here to here, that's below a 6.9, is fair game to move on. Try to get some money for if we can. Yeah, that's kind of fair game. I mean, like I said, I want to keep some quality depth. I don't know if I would call these guys quality depth, quite frankly. Ta here, he's kind of past his prime. Fairness, I mean, he's well past his prime. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he retires. Obina could stick around. I might be able to keep him around. If I can get some money for him and get a better player, that's great. That's the plan. If he sticks around, that's not a big deal. Same thing with Dennis, honestly. I mean, honestly, any of these guys, if we can't move them on and they do stick around, not the end of the world. I wouldn't be too against getting rid of either of these two guys. I think they're a little bit below the quality that we want as well. Lacqua, I'm very happy with keeping Lacqua. He's got a lot of potential. Dominguez, I'm pretty happy with him if he can stay fit. I mean, he's 33 years old. Same thing with Barnow. We've got a few older guys. We've got quite a few younger guys too, so we'll see. But that's basically, this is the for sure line. This is the possible line, and that might be about it. So unless somebody just comes in from somebody else and I just can't pass up the offer, quite frankly. But yeah, I'm gonna go away and do some transfer stuff. Actually, let me put a quick pause in the video so we can see how much money we're gonna have in the transfers, because I'm assuming we haven't seen that yet. I don't think. This is just left over from what was at the halfway mark. I don't think we've seen next year's budget. We'll be right back for next year's budget, just so you guys know what I'm working with. All right, so I literally only had to hit the button once to get the next year's budget. 79 mil. We can work with that. I can make that work. And then not a big jump in wage budget, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to work on that as well. It's not gonna be easy. Definitely not the money that we were getting at Newcastle, but I can do something with this. I can get a couple players. I think I can get at least 3 players, 4 players, maybe good players. Especially if I can trade some of my other current guys away. And honestly, we don't have to do the full rebuild this year. Let's get a couple players this year, a couple strong players this year, and maybe finish the rebuild next year and be in a really strong position. So that's going to be kind of the goal. I'm going to say 3 players. I'm going to say 3 strong players. We're actually already starting to get a couple guys. That's one thing to consider. We're going to get Andrada. I don't know if he will be an absolute starter right now, but we know he's a good player and he's got a lot of potential. And then we're going to bring in Greiger here, who is a pretty strong striker, 3-star striker. And the biggest reason I got him is because he's got a lot of pace. If we're going to play those 3 strikers, I'd like one of them to have really good pace. And I think 17 hopefully will be good enough. We'll see. So we're going to bring him in here and see what he can do. So we've already got a couple guys that can come in and swap in, but we need some more. So I'll be back. I'm going to go away, do some business, and you guys will see the results of that when I get to the end. All right, guys, I am back a lot sooner than I normally am. It is July 1st. Transfer window just opened today, and we are already out of money. We have $0 and barely any wage budget at all. Not enough to write home about. So why did I bring this back? Because I've actually done quite a few transfers already. I've been pretty busy leading up to the opening of this transfer window. Man, our balance is pretty bad right now. It's going to stay positive for a little bit longer, and I think it'll actually be better than that. It's usually almost always better than the projection. So how do I want to do this? Okay, let's just go look at the transfers, I guess. That's probably the best thing, right? Let's just go look at the transfers, the transfer history. And so here we go. Not a lot out. A couple key ones, and a lot in. Do we have anything on the end of last year that I need to talk about? No, we've already checked all those. Okay, no, yeah, there is a couple over here. So let me turn the camera off temporarily. So over here on the right-hand side, we did have 2 go out before the transfer window opened up. So these technically counted, I guess, as last year's transfers out. The first one, 2 of them, we had 3 players that I probably would have liked to have kept. 2 for sure. 1 was borderline. And here's one of the ones that I would have liked to have kept. Bornau would have been a good one to keep, but we got a decent offer for him, all things considered. He's 33 years old. He's not going to be getting any better, and getting $14 million for him felt like a pretty good deal, and that obviously helped open up the door for some other ones. So he was on 7.07, I think, last season. Oh, no, he was the one that was on 6.99. Okay. So, not quite a 7. Pretty good. 7.06 the year before, so not a terrible player by any stretch of the imagination. And he played well for us, and it would have been good to keep around, but getting 14 mil for a 33-year-old felt like a decent deal overall. Again, like he wasn't going to get any better. Farinez was one of the ones I for sure wanted to sell. He was only on a 6.81 rating. His value was at 2.6 mil. We sold him for 3.2, so we sold him a little above value. So that felt like a pretty good deal as well. I don't even think he played that much for us, did he? He had 6 appearances last season. That was it. And he was a goalkeeper, so he conceded 8. That's conceded goals, right? Yeah, conceded 8 goals. Oh, that's how many goals he made. I was like, conceded goals. Wait. So he conceded 8 goals, 2 clean sheets. I mean, we have another goalkeeper coming in. We didn't need him. It is what it is. So 3.2 mil, got something for him. That was fine. All right, let's come back over here. I'll turn the camera back on since my face fits in that little square. So here's the ins and outs. And again, remember to keep in mind, we did technically bring in another, 17.2 mil on top of this. So a little bit over 100 mil that we brought in. Outgoing is 308 mil. So we spent 208 mil more than we brought in. Crazy stuff, huh? So here is what it looks like. I guess let's start at the outs, because I think there's a couple important outs here. The first one obviously being the top one. We'll come back to him. Obino was one that I was okay with selling. I actually had multiple times that people came in for him at 10.25 mil, and he just kept refusing contracts. I think this was the 4th contract he finally accepted for Mainz here. And, it's unfortunate that it's an in-league rival, but I couldn't get him to go to I tried to get him to go to England, or tried to get him to go to, I think France was one, or something like that, Italy maybe, but he just said no to all of those. So that was a bit frustrating, but he wasn't really doing much for us. Actually, 6.74 overall was his rating. I think I had him at 6.82. I think that was because that was rating in league and outside of league. But within league, I guess this is what this is, right? No, this is overall rating, isn't it? I may be misreading this. I apologize. But whatever the case is, his rating wasn't great. Worth selling. I was okay with selling him. We got a little bit of a profit off of him. No real big loss there. I'm not too worried about him. Dennis was another one I was 100% okay with selling. His rating was really bad last season. 6.62. Yeah, pretty bad rating overall. And we got something for him, 8.75. Actually, his value was 5.2 mil, and we sold him a bit above value. Obena's value was 11 mil when I started, and so we sold him very slightly undervalued, just about at value, honestly. Coyote was the one that I was borderline wanting to sell. Would have been okay with keeping him, but probably better let him go so I don't keep mispronouncing his name. But I enjoyed saying it. It was fun. Decent player. He did okay for us overall. 6.91 on 20 appearances. Nothing terrible there. Took a little bit of a loss overall, but honestly, overall, almost sold him for about what we bought him for. Got a little bit of something for him, so that's okay. So here's the big one. The one I've been avoiding. Amadi, 100% would have liked to have kept him. He was like our 4th or 5th best player last season. But he came to me and said, hey, I want to play for a Champions League team. And if I had said no, I tried to say no. I tried to convince him to stay. He was starting to get a little bit agitated, and he was a very influential player. We did not want to carry that agitation with us to the league, so we went ahead and sold him on to Manchester United. We got overall 63 mil for him. A guy that we paid 27 mil for last season, got 63 mil for him. Not a bad turn of a profit right there. Unfortunately, only about half of that is up front and half of it is over time. But so not all of it helped us this season, but it will help us in future seasons. So not happy. Would have been nice to keep him, but we have to keep the team happy. I know if he was upset and causing problems in the locker room, that would have affected the entire team. We would have had troubles. So what do we got coming in? So we got Joel Davies coming in here from Man City. Paid 20 mil up front, could go up to 24 mil overall. He comes in here as he's the guy that was on loan for us last season, right? So we had him on loan last season. I would not say spectacular. 6.85 is not spectacular. He's played better before, though. We know he can play better. We only featured him 6 times, but 20 mil for a guy that can come in and the reason I picked him is because he's a known quantity, and we knew this is right after, like literally the day of or day after Amadi put in his transfer notice and wanted to go away. I was like, okay, I got to get some central defender. Let's get Joel Davies. He's already at the team. We know he's not terrible. A 3-star current ability, could go up to 3.5 star. One of my biggest favorite things about him is he's got 18 jumping reach. I love central defenders with high jumping reach. Obviously, he's not going to be an amazing player, but he's not terrible. I don't think he's going to be a terrible player by any stretch of the imagination. Hopefully, he just plays a little bit better for us next season than he did this season. We shall see. Funny thing is, when we got the loan from Man City, I just put this crazy optional fee of 82 million that we would grab for him if we decided to keep him. Thankfully, they said, okay, we'll take 24 mil. I was like, okay, fine with me. But it was a little funny. So, maybe not the best player in the world, but I think he has potential, and I actually think he can play better than he played last season. So we'll see what happens. Gregor comes in here from Dynamo Kiev. 50 mil up front, could go up to 60 mil. 3.5 star, just solid player. I mean, he's already basically at his potential. One of the big reasons I brought him in, I think I mentioned this before, is that he's got a really good pace, and I wanted a good pacey striker, at least one of my 3 strikers to be pacey, to be able to run circles around the defense. We can lob the ball over to him, things like that. So hopefully he works out the way I want him to. 6'4", not the best jumping reach, and not the best heading, but average, not terrible. And he could definitely do something in there as well. So we'll see what he can do. Overall, his career stats, really strong career stats. But again, this is Dynamo Kiev in Ukraine. He has played in the Bundesliga though before for Borussia Dortmund. 7.17 on 7 games. Not a huge sample size, but we know he can put up the numbers. Just whether or not he can put up the numbers in Germany, we'll find out. But I had agreed to this deal at the mid-year mark, so this is just one that we had coming in. Next guy coming in here is a loanee from Tottenham, Gutierrez. There's an optional fee of 30 mil, maybe? What is it? I don't remember exactly what it was. I'm actually not sure where to find that. I think it's transfer status, is it? I don't remember. It's in here somewhere. So there's an optional fee for him. But, again, it's optional, so it doesn't matter. He's not amazing, but he was just a good loanee that I could bring in easy, that would give us some rotation if we needed it, just to see what happened. Why not? It was he was actually he's got a lot of good potential, to be honest. And if he works out and we could pay that relatively low optional fee, it's definitely well below 62 mil. If we could pay a relatively low optional fee for him, and he turns out to be an amazing long-term player, why not? We hadn't really gotten any other loans, so I figured You got to roll the dice every once in a while, in my opinion. So he's kind of one of those roll the dice guys. We're not really paying much for him. There it is, 33 mil optional fee. 33 mil. If he turns out to be halfway decent, it might be worth dropping 33 mil on a guy that could develop and be worth 60, 70, 80 mil someday. Who knows? Zazie comes in here from Lazio. 3-star current, could go up to 3.5-star, 22 years old. So he's got definitely some growth ahead of him. I want to play him as a midfielder. He wants to play as an attacking midfielder. We'll see what happens. Overall, decent stats. He can play left or right foot. One of the reasons I brought him in is because he's got a really strong work rate and he's got really strong stamina and his teamwork is not terrible. So I wanted to really get somebody who's got that can anchor down that midfield. And again, he wants to play attacking midfielder. We'll see if we can talk him into playing midfield and again, hopefully anchor that down, see what he can do. Not the most amazing stats in Italy. I'm really rolling the dice on him a bit because I liked I wanted somebody with good work rate, and he was one of the few people I could find with, the limited amount of scouting I've been able to do. So we'll see. Again, there's a possible chance here. Level-headed media handling, that's always good. Resolute personality, we'll see what happens there. He does try killer balls often. I'm not sure how good that's going to be. I don't know. Again, I got him for specific stats. Whether or not it ends up working out the way I want it to, it's hard to say. It's hard to say until we get in there. So he was 29.5 up front, up to 35.5. So not a ton of money in the grand scheme of things. Daria here comes in for FC Köln here. He comes in as a what did I bring you in for? I think I brought you primarily as a midfielder option, but he can also play defender. And I'm trying to remember what. No, he's not the one I was thinking of. There's another guy here in a second. I'll show you in just a moment. But I don't remember. I'll be honest. I don't remember why I brought him in. He's fine. Nothing amazing, but I mean, he's going to be at least a good, backup player. We'll see. Hopefully that doesn't turn out to be a mistake. Again, I don't remember why. There was something about this guy, and I'm suddenly mind blanking what it was. But I mean, he's had some caps for Italy in the under 21s. I don't think he's a bad player, but it's possible we overpaid for him at 21.5 mil. We'll find out. Andrada, obviously, we know Andrada. We haven't played with him because we always kept sending him out on loan at Newcastle. But he comes in here as my big signing of the season. Really, really good goalkeeper with a really, really good potential. He's going to be our star goalkeeper with Georgie playing his backup. Hopefully Georgie doesn't get upset. But I'm really hoping that the development we saw, we sent him off as development to Southampton and Fulham from Newcastle. Really hoping all that work that we did at Newcastle pays off here, and we end up having a really, really strong player. So we'll find out. There's not much to talk about him because we've seen him for a couple years. Deers is the one that I was thinking of that was Daria. Starts with a D as well. Deers comes in here, 48 mil up front, could go up to 57 mil. It's a bit of a roll of the dice, but there's a very specific reason we brought Deers in. And Deers comes in here because he checks the box on being a homegrown in the nation player for Germany. Now we need those for the Euro Cup registration. So he was like the best player I could find that was homegrown at the nation. And he's not amazingly great right now. I wouldn't say he's terrible, but he's not amazingly great right now. But he has a lot of potential. A lot of potential. So I think he could develop into being a really good player. Now, is that going to develop in time for us to see it? Because we're on a limited time frame? You never know. Sometimes these players just go crazy and they gain like a full star in one season. I mean, I've seen crazy stuff like that before. We'll see if he's one of those or not. He's fairly determined. He's media friendly. That's always good. His work rate's not terrible. I mean, it's average-ish, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. He's definitely going to be a good player for this team. He's a good pickup for the team. Is he a good pickup for me because I'm not staying at the team for 5-10 years? I don't know. But I think 5-10 years down the road, this guy's going to be a star player, potentially. So we'll see what happens. But again, homegrown at Nation. He checks a box. That's one of the reasons we brought him in. Brunig comes in here. Another player that checks a box. Very little money for him. 6.5 mil up front. It could go up to 10 mil. He actually has a lot of potential as well. Again, I don't think we're going to see it ourselves. 2 stars, not great, but it's the bare minimum that I would be happy with to play as a rotation player. And the reason he comes in here is not only is he homegrown at Nation, he's homegrown at our club. Again, another checkbox for the Euros. And I mean, you could do worse than a 2-star player that could potentially develop into a 2.5, 3-star player by the end of the season if he just goes crazy as well. As a backup or something like that, a rotation player for the Euros. So we're going to need some rotations. And again, he checks a good box, and he honestly didn't cost us that much. I think he could end up developing into being worth way more than that, 5 times that amount. So I think from a team standpoint, great pickup for this team. Maybe not a great pickup for me specifically. We shall see. And then finally, my other biggie, technically my biggest of the year, although he's not the biggest up front. Sarmiento, coming here from Hoffenheim. He is a attacking midfielder. Technically, he can play on the left or the right if we ever decide to go that route. He can also play striker pretty well, quite frankly. But he comes in here as a attacking midfielder, basically one of the best attacking midfielders in Germany right now. So I was like, you know what? I've got to go pick up one of the best players in the league to come to me. That's kind of what I did with Sancho. He was a really strong player that played on the wings that could come here as attacking midfielder. And so he kind of fills that Sancho role for me. It's like, 29 years old, so he's up there. He's had experience. We know he's great in the league, and we're going to see what he can do for us. So he comes in here. I mean, he's putting a 7.47 last season. Are you kidding me? 7.34, 7.2, 7.39. I mean, the guy's he knows how to play in this league. And that's the reason I was okay to pay a little bit extra for him. So we shall see what happens with that. So, after all that being said, here is our squad. Let's go squad depth. We just got us a new head of youth development who's got like an 18 or 19 rating ability for, I think it's 18 current and 19 potential. Is that right? Because I'm curious now. Yep, 18 ability, 19 potential. Really good head of youth development, in my opinion. But the other thing is, the reason I mark him with 3 stars is so I know which guy to pick when I'm looking for my squad stuff. He comes in here as a solid player for me to rate this stuff with. So, where are we at? Obviously, our right defender depth is not great. So let's actually add some filters in here. I'm going to check this off. Let's check our second team and our under 19s, just so we can see the full picture. Just because I was curious if we had anybody else back here. We don't really. If anything, I might try and find me a loanee on the right here, because we're going to need somebody that can play over there. I'm going to check this back off again. Yeah, we're going to need to find somebody over there. It's possible one of the other guys can kind of sort of pinch hit over there if needed. It's just not showing up. But I thought Davies could play over there. Was it the other? It might have been the other loanee that we had that could play over there sometimes that we didn't end up keeping. Anyway, all that being said is, I'm going to start at the back. Obviously, Andrada, starting goalkeeper, he is going to be great. I'm hoping big things for him. Probably Lucas, and man, I cannot believe Davies ends up being our second best center back. Wow. Obviously, Schmidt playing on the left. Bruckner, most likely playing midfield most of the time. Brian Gill can play in a couple different spots. We've played him in a couple different spots last season, so it's good to have him just available. Our depth in central, our defense did not get as much love as I was hoping. And the big thing is that losing Amadi, I was not expecting to. That threw me off a bit. I scrambled. I tried to find some people. Didn't find the best people in the world. I think we're going to have some defensive struggles. I'm okay with midfield and up, mostly. I mean, they're 3 stars. They're not amazing. Sarmiento, best player in the up here. We got a couple guys that can develop, though, right? We have several guys that could develop into really good players. Daria could get a little bit better. Daryl Davies can get a little bit better. Kinsetta, I think he's old, isn't he? I don't know, he's 22. He could technically get a tiny bit better. Probably not, but he could. Overall, I think the team is slightly better than it was last season. But this is always going to be a work in progress, right? So what did we do? What did we do this season that's going to improve the team going forward? We didn't have to do it all this season, right? You don't have to get every single spot filled with the best player possible in one season. That's just usually not possible with money, restrictions. We got our star goalkeeper for years to come. Awesome. Technically, at the mid time when I showed up, we got Schmidt, our left back for years to come, right? Obviously, we still got Lucas in here. How old is Lucas now? Oh, he's got plenty of time ahead. So we got Lucas. Solid. We're good there. We brought in Sarmiento. Good for a couple more years. Solid. Maybe the other spots aren't great. There are some potential guys that could just explode and get better. And if that works out, then that's one less player we have to get. But they're solid. They're not bad. 3-star players are not bad. And honestly, we're rating these 3-star players against a guy that's 4.5 stars and another guy that's 4 stars. So it's possible these guys are not as bad as they look because they're being rated against some really, really good players down here. The biggest weakness that I just missed on was Bruckner. What was Bruckner being our only right back? We need another right back. And I'm going to have to go find one on loan, if at all possible. So that's going to be my goal right now. Go find a right back on loan. And yeah, go from there. But other than that, that's the team, guys. While we're here, let's just check something. Do we have anybody that can come in here? Let's just go through these real quick. There's a right back. Not interested in a loan. Slight interest in joining. I wonder if I could just do it as a future fee. I mean, he's not the most amazing player, and he doesn't really have a lot of potential. So no, we'll keep scouting him, but I'm not worried about. I'm not going to grab him. This guy would be good for the future, right? This guy would not be a bad player for the future. But is he really going to help me right now? No, not really. So we'll keep scouting him. We don't care about him. Central defender. I don't usually bring you guys along for this part of the stuff, but let's see what we can find. Scouted. We don't need specifically homegrown players, so we're going to clear that out. We do need right back, and I mean, we have no money. So, like, anybody that we can get, like, honestly, an old guy that could come in here that would come in here for, like, next to nothing that we could grab. And, I mean, 33 might be a little older than I'm looking for. 31's not bad. He says very interested for loan. So does this guy, actually. I mean, who would we rather have? Very interested in loan here. Castro. Marseille. I mean, he's a younger guy. Truth be told, though, I think I would rather have an older guy that's got experience than a younger guy right now. Just because the older guy's going to be able to play today. And then next season we can start working on something. But I mean, this guy's actually not bad. Gibbons here? Oh, he's from Newcastle. Wait, did we have Gibbons at Newcastle before? I don't remember Gibbons. Let me go back. Sorry. Why do I not remember Gibbons? No, I do remember Gibbons. I remember Gibbons. Yeah. I remember Gibbons. Yeah, 61 mil. Okay. Actually came in from... Wait a minute. He came from another Germany team. He came from that evil team that beat us, isn't it? This is the team that beat us, right? I don't remember, suddenly. They're all blending together. He would be a really solid player, just long term. I don't think we can get him. There's no way, right? We'd have to get him on loan. Very interested. Would you give him to me on loan? With an optional fee? That playing monthly fee is going to kill us. He'd be a really good player, though. I think we've got to take this. Can we drop this down at all? They're going to say no. I think we've got to see if we can get this. It's going to put us a little bit over on the budget, but I think we've got to go for that. Just for giggles, I'm actually going to see if we can grab this guy. Just as another option. I'm not saying we're going to grab him, but I want to start the process, and then whichever one we decide to go with, loan. Okay, so they say no. What about, was it Milder? Another really solid player. Says it would be interested in a loan. No, okay. I mean, we could probably play around with the future fees and stuff, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. Okay, we'll try. I don't know. We'll see if Gibbons can come on. And I will let you guys know. But until then, we're gonna go ahead and end the episode there. The next time you guys see me will be for the first game, and the first game of the season is, oh wow, a cup first round game. We'll show the cup first round game because why not? It should be a low ranked team, probably a what is it? It's not the Bundesliga 3. What is it? League 3? Is that what it's called? Bundesliga 2, and then was it League 3? 3 Liga, or whatever they call it. Sorry. I don't know things. But oh my goodness, Borussia Dortmund. Oh, Borussia Dortmund 2. I was like, how is Borussia Dortmund ever in this league? I didn't see the 2. But anyway, it's probably going to be against one of those lower league teams. So, but might as well show that, and then we'll show the FC St. Pauli game, and we'll start the season off. And this is a season that I will be showing a lot more of the regular games because we have a chance to win that. We have a chance to win basically everything that we're playing. So we'll probably show a lot of games this season, which is good because last season's number of episodes was pretty low. I need to set up more friendlies here. But yeah, we'll come back for that, and you guys will know if we got Gibbons or if we'll get somebody. Maybe Gibbons, maybe somebody else. We'll see. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.